Hey, thanks for slithering in and welcome back to my channel and to another speed build in The Sims 4. You may see by the title of this video that it is indeed a vampire themed home, and you may be thinking, wasn't Halloween like forever ago? It wasn't really, but it's been a minute. And I'll tell you a little bit more why this video was a little delayed, but I'm still very excited for you guys to see it and to finally share it because I recently just finished it and yay! So if you like spooky things still, even in the middle of November, and you like this build, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe down below and leave a comment. I guess since this might be my first video or last video before Thanksgiving, why not let me know what you guys are thankful for if you celebrate it, or I think in general if you don't celebrate it, I think it's still a good practice, you know, to just say, hey, I'm thankful for this. Spread some positivity. So first off, I am thankful for all of you guys who watch my videos, who subscribe, who interact with polls in the community tab or whatnot, or even if you're just here for the first time, thanks. I've been having actually so much fun building lately, and I think it's starting to show. I don't know, but I've been having a lot of fun and a lot of fun interacting with you all, so thank you. I'm so grateful. You guys rock. Anyway, this build is a home for a vampire, or I imagined maybe a vampire who just recently got turned, and maybe before they got turned they were like deerists or researching, like a vampire researcher, vampire slayer, whatever, but eventually they got turned and now they're trying to figure that out. They're like, do I like this lifestyle? Do I hate it? Do I want to go back to just being a regular sim and leave the vampire world alone? I thought that might be a fun like little storyline to play with. And I got to that storyline a little later in the building process. So the second floor in the bedroom, there's like a wall with a picture of Vlad and corkboards, kind of like they're putting a mystery together, like solving a mystery. Does that make sense? Like you would see in a movie, right? So that was my thought process there, and I thought it was kind of creepy, kind of cool, and maybe a fun storyline to play with. Also, when I first started building this, I asked you guys on Twitter, so if you're not following me on Twitter, go follow, because sometimes I'll ask questions. I said, if you were a vampire, what would be in your yard? I got a lot of garlic to kind of pretend like, you know, everything's cool. I'm not a vampire. Hate vampires. You know, hiss. Or silver. We've got that. And then someone said like a shed that really secretly leads down to a basement underground. So I do add that later. So stay tuned for that and we'll talk about it a little more. What else about this build? Oh, it's also limited pack. Guys, I don't do limited packs very often, but I was inspired because I think when I first started building this, they may have just announced that base game was going free. It's been a minute. So I started building this and then I got sick. I actually tested positive for COVID, so I did half this build, and then when I was finally better enough to, you know, get back up and get back in the game, I had some collabs that I needed to work on, and then yeah, you know, life happens, but I was able to come back and finish it. So it's only base game and vampire stuff, so hopefully some of you may want to download it. Is it play tested? I didn't play test too much. I play tested a little. I don't always play test my builds, so I guess that's a disclaimer there. Mostly because I'm lazy. Also because I I would get so mad if I really like a particular room or a space. And maybe it's selfish. It might be a little selfish. But I get so mad when I have to change it, because then I feel like it just doesn't look the same as I envisioned it. And I had already fallen in love with it, right? Like maybe a couch is too close, or there's too much clutter on a counter. I don't know. So when you guys download my builds and it doesn't work, feel free to change it, do whatever you want to it. That's why I put it on the gallery, because it's up to your interpretation. I'm not gonna play much with my builds. I may, if I ever dive into the gameplay, which occasionally I do, but for the most part I just build because it's fun, and then I put it up on the gallery and then I never look at it again. But that's what it is. Here we are in the living room, and of course it's very spooky and very warm. I just did pull out the dream home decorator couch for a second, and I was like, oops, I meant to be doing base game and vampires only, so never mind. Although I was tempted, I always get tempted, especially with like the dream home decorator items, which I usually typically always use for the counters. Now I think I use a different color cabinet, do I, or do I keep white? I think we'll find out soon. Or black? It might stay black. But I really enjoyed the wood paneling I put behind there, because some of the base game tile just was not working. But I think using the wood paneling made this home feel a little older, which is really what I wanted. And that long table is going to turn into a small round one, or a square one. It's going to get smaller. And yeah, we're just cluttering it up because I love that. This was also obviously built before the Everyday Clutter Kit and Pastel Pop Kit were released. So you're not going to see any of that here, unfortunately, because if I had it, this probably would not have made it to a base game and vampire stuff only build. But I'm gonna stop telling you guys that it's base game and vampires only. Here, you might have saw me like stick a little bassinet down in the basement area, which I end up getting rid of. I don't think I keep a bassinet down there. I'm trying to think, I don't think so. And I rotated those images there to kind of match like the angle of the stairs, because I thought that would be a cool touch. But as far as the basement goes, I believe I only put a coffin. So I was thinking this vampire in denial is very, like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't even want people to know, or she, that there's even an inclination that they are a vampire. So at night, they just sneak down underground and sleep there in their coffin. They're exploring, you know, they're figuring themselves out. They're in a transformation phase of their life. I don't know, I think that would be fun, but I actually adore this office and how it came out using the blacks and the warm wood tones, which is very different than my last video. My last video was all pastel and clutter and pop, which it was really cool. And then I think I actually have my little calendar here of what I think the next builds are gonna be, because surprise surprise, I have a few that are edited and waiting for voiceover. I'm actually ahead for once, and it's a complete shock. And it's a complete shock to me because this is the busiest time of year at work, but I have such a good routine and pace going with everything right now, and I'm really hope I'm not jinxing it. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna finish this year so strong. But anyway, my next home is smaller than this one, and it's modern, so I'm definitely playing with different build styles, different architecture stuff. I'm trying to keep things fresh, you know, because when I build the same thing over and over, like same styles, I do end up you know, burning out because I'm human and that's what we do. Anyway, I don't think I recorded the basement because it looks like we are coming up at the end of the video. Do make sure you check out the cinematic tour. Oh, maybe I do record some of it. Look at that, woohoo! But anyway, if you enjoyed this build, enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to get to 600 before the end of the year because that would just blow my mind and make me super, super happy. But you guys are awesome. Enjoy the tour. Stick around for those screenshots. And happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Gobble, gobble. Bye. See you guys in the next one.